time of the week again.
I don't know where I was gonna start at now. So, but anyways, like I was saying,
Spotlight's on you.
like I don't know if it's the vasectomy because I know that doesn't mess with your like your piss tubes or whatever they're called, right? They don't.
Yeah,
It
the
doesn't
old
mess with your
piss
bladder
tubes.
or whatever. But I know that like when I got my vasectomy, it was like harder for me to piss at first. I don't know if you guys know I don't know if you guys had a vasectomy. I don't know if you guys.
No. I still
It's
need
hard.
to,
It feels.
but
I don't
no.
know.
Nope.
I need you guys to go get one and tell me how your pissing experience is. So
I don't need one.
just, but it was. But then when I started taking my ADHD meds, it felt like, it feels like I don't piss for 3-4 hours. But then
You
when
also stopped drinking coffee too.
that too. But then like when I have to go, it's like immediately. If I don't go now, I'm gonna piss my drawers. And and it's infuriating because I pissed longer now than I ever have, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm up to like,
Do you ever like time yourself?
no, but I'm close to like a minute and a half, man. And it's
Oh, yeah.
infuriating. I'm like thinking about all this time that I'm wasting just standing here out, literally. And it's upsetting.
I'd
I
rather
will-
have that than I fucking piss like 20 times a day.
That's
Oh, not
and
me.
That's the infuriating thing about drinking a lot of water is that you're constantly pissing. And it's like,
No.
I know I'm supposed
No,
to be
I'm
hydrated.
telling you, man. I drink a shit ton of water every single day. I drink like, I don't know, 64 ounces, 100 and whatever ounces. I don't know. Like I just drink a shit ton of water every day. I've always just referred to myself as a piss camel. I store it up, and I got my piss hump, and then
That's what I call my butt.
Yeah,
It's just my piss hump. This is
exactly,
where all my
yeah.
piss is stored. It's like, it's in my butt.
it's for me. It's my balls. You know, I just get
Hey, man, I've always said the piss
store,
is stored
you
in
store
the
your
balls.
piss in
Yeah.
your balls. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
and then you go in, and you know you got a like 3-minute long piss session. You know, you do that like twice a day, and you're good.
That's fair. And think about it, like it is only 6 minutes. And like if I was in Alex's situation, it'd be one of those things where like I'm having to go piss all the time. You're talking about like, yeah, sure, they're only short pisses, right? It's like 30
That's what I was
seconds to
gonna say.
piss, but it's like if you're
Yeah.
doing it 20 times a day, that's 10 minutes. You just blew through 10 minutes, you know? Whereas like if
I
you
don't-
just do
I
6
don't-
minutes a day.
I mean, like, I'm not that strapped for time that apparently you are.
It's just annoying to me, right? I understand this is probably a uniquely me thing, but it's like the idea of like, okay, dude, okay, I'm talking to my dick right now. I'm
What
like,
else are
okay,
you gonna
buddy.
do with the fucking
But
4
it's-
minutes?
It's not even like about getting the time back so much as just like hurry the fuck up. Like, let's go. Like, come on. Like, why are you taking so long?
Go pee more. Maybe
to
you
get-
just got a really strong flap.
I
Ooh.
mean, that's I don't know. What is?
Well,
is
that's
there a
the thing,
flap?
like,
is there a
you know,
flap down there? I didn't know.
Inside your body. That's the thing. Like, and the older you get, the weaker it gets. That's why you have to start wearing diapers when you're like 80.
Oh shit, man! I thought it was like a
start having the
butthole
dribble.
thing. Like, I'm kind of scared. Like my butthole's gonna start leaking eventually. But I mean, hey, I mean,
Yours
I don't have
doesn't
any
already?
issues. No, I mean, like I don't have any issues out of it. But I'm just
Huh.
assuming like eventually it's gonna start leaking and like, is there gonna be a smell? You know, I don't want that.
Yeah, old people
Oh, for
smell,
sure.
That's probably
Yeah,
why they
what do you
smell
think
now
that
I think
is?
about it. Okay, I never honestly never even thought about it. I just like I thought it was just like your flesh is deteriorating, so that's like the smell that you get.
The smell of old is just piss and shit.
It's like, do you ever walked into a nursing home, dude?
I used to work at a nursing home, so yeah, I did all the time.
So you
For,
should be
like,
familiar with
2 hours
this.
a day. But I just thought that like yeah, that's just normal. It's just normal like death and decay smell.
There was a
Nope,
whole
piss
like
and shit.
theory a long time ago. I think I may have sent it in the group chat, like when we first started the group chat, where it was like you're slowly dying every day. So like that's like your insides are just like a organ stew, and so like it's
Oh yeah, you're
this-
slow cooked.
this-
You're being slow cooked literally by your own
slowly
body.
cooked.
Yeah,
Nice.
you're,
Nice.
you're
And
being
so-
sous vide. So,
Yeah.
so to
Oh.
speak.
So that's where the smell comes from. I don't know.
Mm.
I'm not a
And
scientist.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
crack a
claim to
body
be.
open and give it a taste. You know what I mean? Like so.
Okay. Well, I mean that fits the theme, right?
It sure does.
Anyways, boys, this is the 3rd week of spooky season, and I just want to know how you guys are feeling about it so far.
3 and a
like-
half.
Yeah, I mean, we're theoretically right in the middle of spooky season. You know, as of recording this, that is right because there's always a little bit of a lag time, right?
No.
No.
Let's clarify. There's on a normal recording week. We record and then you have 2 days later. we did some like
No,
stored
no. We
recordings where
were.
you broke kayfabe and could not stop talking about it
That
being
was so great.
December.
Hey, buddy.
I'm like, bro, it's October. You're like, no, it's not. It's September. I'm like, bro, it's
it
October.
didn't fit the story I was trying to tell. Okay, it would make more sense if I got the
You
catalog
could
in
have just been.
October.
You got to learn to adapt. You'd be like, yo, like a couple days ago when it was still September, you know.
I mean, I'm just not
I,
good at improv yet.
Yes.
I would like to say I got the catalog and had the exact same reaction that Jacob does.
Let's go, dude.
And you know
Let's
how
go.
much I love Christmas. You guys know how much I love that holiday. I got that and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, dude, it's like,
Already?
give October
September?
a break, like like give him a chance to breathe, my guy.
Yeah, like
Capitalism, dude.
I am, and the only thing I can think of, and I can't remember if you guys mentioned this when you had brought it up on the pod. The only thing I could think of was that maybe it's for like grandma and grandpa. They usually start shopping like early, so
I mean, it's
maybe.
not to say that I didn't have the kid or the kids didn't want to look at it and circle things in it. Like, yeah, sure, it's gonna get use, right? Yeah, people are gonna use it, but it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I get that. Yeah, you could start shopping early, and it's good to start shopping early. But at the same time, it's like, can we at least give it till like November 1st? They've got a whole month
Yeah.
to order things.
Then everything's sold out by then.
Not in this
In
economy,
this
dude.
great economy, yeah.
Dude, not in this
Well, see-
economy. Shit's flying off the shelves. Or shelves? I don't know.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the kids need to start circling it now, and the parents are like, "Oh shit, how do I save up for all this?
Yeah.
Gotta start saving now."
Has the I don't know. I'm not like big on like I mean, not in the know, so to speak, about like Christmas gifts, but I don't know, like, do they still have like fads of the year? Is that like a thing? You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Like the Wii. The Wii was like one of those where when it came out around Christmas time, you couldn't fucking find it. There was literally people dying in contests to get a Wii.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Hold
if
your
there's
Wii for a Wii.
that.
I could
yeah,
have done
dude.
that.
That
Piss
fuck-
camel.
dude. That lady drank way too much water, and it's so sad.
Yeah.
She fucking.
I don't know
drank
that it's
herself to death.
sad. I think it's dumb
I think it's it is dumb.
for
but
a
I think it's-
$199 system.
I think it was negligent by all parties, really. Because
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like somebody should have known. Somebody should have been in the room, and be like, "Hey, is it like deadly to drink a bunch of water like this, like really fast?" But I didn't know if like they still
Probably
had
should have cleared
fads
that.
or whatever. Yeah. So
Yeah, they do. I don't know if they are anymore because, now with well, by the time this Christmas rolls around, 17-year-old and a 14-year-old, they're not into that
Do
kind of
they-
stuff anymore.
do they use lingo around the house that you're just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, is there a moment like when your kids
yeah.
are just like, "Yeah, it's skibbity dog," and you're just like,
Oh, yeah.
what the fuck are
I
you
stay
saying?
I stay on top of all of it so that I can use it back at them, but I like to use it sometimes in ways that isn't appropriate. That
Because
just
it's hella
doesn't
cringe.
actually
You're like, right? You're leaning into the
Yeah.
cringe of it. Yeah.
exactly, and they just look at me like don't, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna use it. If you're gonna use it, I'm gonna use it.
Yeah, these are words, man. That's how they work.
Olivia was telling me something the other day was Ohio, and I was like, okay, that's fine.
That's the one
I
I
don't
don't
really-
understand. I
Ohio-
understand
well,
how you're supposed to use
Ohio
it.
is lame
Okay. That's
Right.
like
because what do you do in Ohio?
nothing. I would
Nothing.
assume, yeah.
A lame state.
If you have a representative such as Jim Jordan, yeah, it's a fucking lame ass state. That's a political roast, baby. That's what we do here. Okay, that's what we do here. We go everywhere with it. But anyways, how you guys been? Sorry for talking so much.
No, it's fine.
You're good.
I went on vacation.
Oh yeah, dude. How was your vacay, my guy?
Great.
Aloha. Did they say aloha in Aruba?
Bon
that-
Vinny.
That's
What is
Bon Vinny.
It sounds like some Italian actor or guitar player to me. But
Bon
Well, they're
Vinny.
Dutch, so
that's what's crazy, man. Like, I didn't think that the Dutch population had like beach people, right? Which sounds
Well,
like a slur.
I didn't
mean,
go
like-
to the Netherlands.
That's what I'm saying. Right? You went to Aruba, but then you say they're Dutch, then I assume that like they're in Birkenstocks. They're like still cold somehow. I don't know.
They speak like 4 languages. They speak English, they speak Spanish, Papiamento, and Dutch.
Man, what is Papiamento?
It's
I'm gonna have to
local language.
Google it, but it sounds cool.
Local language.
But
Yeah.
what'd you do
Yeah,
there?
it was. What did I do? If I can just vibed out, chilled, hung out, soaked in the rays. So there was a hurricane that had come through, and like Aruba's like really
Didn't even hear
really
that.
windy. No, there's 2 of them. Hold on.
Okay.
The first one comes through, right? The one
Yeah.
that almost like obliterated us.
Yeah.
And so like it's below the hurricane belt, so like they don't get hurricanes, but they get like the remnants of the weather and stuff. So like all the wind was sucked up, and so like it was just like hot. It's hot
Ah,
and rainy.
yeah.
October is like rainy season. They non-rainy and rainy, because it's like a desert basically. And then it rained like every day. We were like out on the desert, like on the not ATVs, but not gators, like a step above a gator, I guess.
A
Whatever, I don't know.
Polaris, like a like a.
Yeah, kind of, sort of like
Okay.
that. And like if we just fucking got piss poured rain on, and it was like
Yeah.
bullets were hitting me in the face, and like there's nowhere to go because you're out in the desert, And then we went out to do parasailing the first day, or not the first day, but the first day we went out there, we fucking got poured down like rain, thunderstorm. So we had to go. We were in the ocean. That was fun. And then we had to go back. And
Did you have
we
to
were
get
getting
out of the
pelted
ocean?
there.
Did they like come out? Did some like a Coast Guard come out like, hey, you can't be swimming in the rain?
Well, we didn't go that far, but like we didn't make it. We were in a transport boat, and we didn't make it to the actual boat. And they're like, well, we got to turn around because they called it in, and it was like we had to turn around. Then we got fucking. I was like, okay, well, we'll just go hang out by the pool. And we got drenched. It just rained a lot.
Oh, I guess yeah.
And then-
Parasailing probably isn't one of those activities you want to do like in a wind rainstorm.
Well, they won't let you. It's for
no.
Yeah, plus
safety.
lightning.
but-
Yeah, you'd be
You
really close
essentially
to the lightning.
become-
A lightning
yeah,
rod.
a conduit. You're just like a conduit for lightning.
Yeah, so you
Um,
become Ben Franklin's kite with the
yeah,
key on
Yeah,
it.
you are the
Exactly.
kite now.
Yeah.
The boat is now the key.
Um,
So
And
Yeah.
then it started to get real like windy, like the day before we left, and then another hurricane hit.
yeah,
So it's like okay.
and it's like that's it's just natural weather, man. This weather
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Yeah.
Two
Um,
historic hurricanes in a
It
row.
it's so weird
know?
because you hear about like a certain sect of
It's normal.
people on the
Yeah.
internet, and you're like, those people aren't real. And then like when your flight attendant starts talking about how it was all propaganda and nonsense about the hurricane that hit Tampa, I'm like,
Then you
okay,
realize, oh no,
Really?
oh no.
yeah. I was like, oh shit,
She
okay.
like bends over. She has a QAnon like tramp stamp. You're like, oh no, I need off this plane now. Like, get me out of here, please.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, okay.
I bet.
That
Better
That
the
sounds,
flight attendant than the pilot, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't need the pilot
suppose.
talking about that.
but then like he leans over to like tell her something, and like his hair falls to the side. You just see a QAnon tattoo on
'Cause
the
I
back of his
guess
neck, and it's a whole
it was-
conspiracy.
It was a
Oh my
weird
God.
interaction because my in-laws went down the day before, and then we all flew back on the same plane, and I guess it was the same crew on the flight when my in-laws went down. So she said something to him, and then you just hear like he's like, yeah, I didn't know if if the flight was gonna get delayed for the hurricane, and she's just like, oh, that's just a bunch of propaganda nonsense. It was fine. I'm like, oh, okay.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
mean,
tell the people in fucking St. Pete and Tampa, like it was.
yeah, all the people who
Yeah, no
currently
joke.
don't have homes or like
Yeah.
transportation.
But I mean, I guess
or,
I don't know. I guess it's fine because the Lightning played a home game yesterday. So
I mean, you got to think that they're like a $1 billion corporation. They're like, you guys got to play.
you better make
know?
sure that arena's up and going.
Yeah, you guys got to play. Come on, you can't be missing
Come
too
on.
many games. I know
Come
like
on.
the town is destroyed and like there's like
Yeah.
a lot of homes.
We'll divert
destroyed
all
now.
the power for
Keep it
hockey.
going.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Got to keep that ice cold.
Oh
But
man, but
Outside of that,
I mean, that sounds fun. Ian, what about you? What have you been into? Huh? It's been a hot minute since you've been on an episode.
Yeah, I think we're coming up on almost a year since I was on here last.
Oh, shit,
So
dude.
yeah, a lot of stuff's happened this year. Weird stuff. I'm not going to get into all the depressing stuff, but hey, I found out recently that I am almost done with college, so that's exciting. I'm going to be graduating in a year.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's fun. Liv is now in the marching band for her school,
Let's go.
which happens to be the national champions when it comes to marching band bands.
You sent us a video in the group chat a little while ago, and it was like they're way too coordinated. They're like I could have never. Yeah. I had a hard time playing football in the first place because I couldn't remember the plays, let alone if I was in the marching band trying to remember where the hell I'm supposed to step. And
yeah, it's freaking crazy to watch it.
hats off to her because I can't do it.
Yeah. So they've already been dominating across the state in competitions. We've got more coming up. I guess today's Friday, right?
Yeah,
that's
dude.
when this
Hell
podcast
yeah.
comes out. It's Friday. So tomorrow,
Just
they're going to be
crushing
doing
the
lots of
competition.
competitions. So yeah, and then they're going to be playing in New York City for Thanksgiving at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. So
you got to tune into
watch-
that. I just realized now we got to
watch
tune
the
in for
parade.
that. Oh shit!
yeah, you got to
dude.
record it, everything. Yeah.
I'm putting. It's going to be live streamed on our YouTube
you
channel.
won't remember.
I probably will forget, but you got to remind me so that way I can live stream it from. Our channel get taken down for like
Oh, for sure.
live streaming
Yeah.
Macy Day Parade. But hey, while it's up there, I'll slap her on the TV. You know.
And that's your first time in New York City, right?
Yeah, that is going to be my first time in the Big Apple ever. So, as I said to you
It's
guys
a
in the group
lot.
chat, I'm really excited to go see the Sanctum Sanctorum. I'm really excited to go see the Daily Bugle. You know, all that fun stuff.
You'll be able to see the Daily
those are
Bugle. It's just not
places
called
from
that.
Marvel.
Yeah,
I just realized the Sanctum Sect. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay,
said
yeah,
Avengers
Did you not
Tower.
see my follow up?
I didn't. No, because I'm not gonna lie. I kind of checked out in that conversation
'Cause you
because I
don't.
was
Yeah, that's what
upset
you
at the
do.
fact that like it removed me from the group chat automatically. I don't know when you guys posted all that. Okay, might have been today when I restarted it, but
If I
Oh,
will
that's
just say before we get into the actual episode, if all goes according to plan, which as of now nothing has, Monday the 21st, Polar Story issue 2 will be on Fund My Comic.
let's go, dude.
Dude, I'm so excited for that.
So
Cannot wait.
I'm assuming that means that like they gave you the approval and they're like, yeah, dude.
It's approved, but they have a thing where like once it's approved, they don't unapprove it. So
That's good.
Hell
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
You mean you won't be told,
The day out,
the day,
yeah.
a week or
Yeah.
two after, right before you go live with it, like, oh, hey, actually, we're pulling it from the shop.
Hey, actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So
hell yeah, dude.
We'll see. We'll see. Runs for I think I had set it for like 32 days or something dumb. I don't know.
Dude, that's fantastic. I'm so excited.
Oh, fuck,
So we'll see.
Killer, man, guy. That's gonna be sick.
I'm excited
Like-
for you. I'm excited for me because I've been waiting almost like a fucking year to get that next issue. So
I think everybody.
you left
has.
it on a great.
I will
Oh.
once I have like God, there's like a whole tell all about it all that I can
You're writing a book right
Some
now,
other-
right? You want to go ahead and plug the
some
book
other
that you're writing
time.
about it?
Dude, it's just amazing how we talk about like we complain about games like whatever and it's like games are hard to make. Comic books are hard to make.
Yeah.
Like it's when you are doing everything, when I say everything, when you are in charge of the whole project and you have to juggle multiple plates and depend on multiple people. It's amazing that anything ever gets made.
I mean, that's fucking.
I mean, Jacob's aware of a lot of the problems because
Yeah.
I needed someone to fucking yell to.
Yeah.
He yelled
I was
a
gonna say
lot.
I know maybe like a tenth of it, and even then it's insane.
And I trust me, like it's a lot, and you yelled a lot, and I listened, and
And I had every reason to.
oh yeah, absolutely, and I yelled a lot. I also tried to find loopholes in the system, the legal system. Tried to, change people's citizenship, etc.
It's not even like that. That was just another cog in the wheel. That wasn't even like the
That
main
wasn't-
issue.
yeah.
That everything else back. So it's like,
But
what do you do? But
It's
hopefully,
coming out.
well, it's
We'll see.
launching.
Yeah.
on
We'll
Fund
see.
My Comic. So
everybody check it out.
Um,
Can you pre-save things on Fund My Comic? I don't know how.
no,
it works.
you can't.
Okay.
You can't do that. And there's just a couple of things on there that I don't love, but
Hey,
it was
you know,
it was the best avenue at the time.
hell yeah. Well, that is sick.
So-
I don't mean to transition away from it, but
No,
like
it's fine.
again, it is spooky season, as we mentioned. We are now more than halfway, as of this episode coming out, through the spooky season. I was wondering if you guys ever had, like, the memory of like the first time you consumed a piece of media, like maybe it was around Halloween time, or like just any time in your life that like scared the ever loving shit out of you.
Oh yeah. So the first horror movie that I ever saw any bit of was Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Okay.
So I'm showing my age here. I was, I don't know, like maybe 5 or 6.
Oh Jesus
so-
Christ! Not the age that you want to see Nightmare on Elm Street for sure.
Yeah, my older cousins, we were all at my grandma's house, and I think it probably was for maybe like I don't know, Thanksgiving or Christmas or something like that. And my older cousins used to go. Well, we all used to go into the spare bedroom they had because they had this little TV in there, and we'd all just kind of hang out in there, like on the bed, and like watch TV and stuff. Well, my older cousins were in there, and I didn't know why they were in there, but they had the door closed and stuff. I
sneaking
wasn't in there.
around.
Yeah, so I wandered in there, and they just happened to be watching Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and it had to have been I mean, knowing the date when it launched and how old I was, it had to have been like one of the first times it was on TV. It was probably on like HBO or something. Uh,
Or it
they're
was
watching it.
VHS and you rented it at the you guys remember
Yeah,
movie stores? Huh? You guys
the
remember
old
movie stores?
Blockbuster. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Blockbuster. Is that
Oh
ringing any
yeah.
bells with anybody? A little nostalgia coming back. What did we have? We had like a family
Hollywood Video.
family fun video. I
Oh,
think it's yeah,
Family Video.
maybe. I don't know. It was some.
Okay.
It was like some guy who was like, I don't know, trying to turn
We
it
had
back.
Video Magic.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, did you guys have the one where it had the curtains? Did you have the
Like the
curtains?
special room that you could go in. Like they
Oh
had a
yeah, the
special
adult
room at
room.
the ones. Yeah, and then I think the one. So the one in our hometown had a special room that you could go into and check out. But then the one up there near my grandmother, they didn't have a special room, but I think they only had like the skin flicks or whatever, where it was like soft core. So but they had just like out, and I would always like, as a kid, I was always like, like I'm gonna go check over here in the scary movie section and like peek at them as I'm like, oh yeah, look at that boob, dude. That's fucking sick.
Look at that boob.
Go to
Hey,
school.
everyone loves boob at every age.
Look at that boob.
So you walked in, you saw like what do you remember from
I
like?
So I remember the scene, like it was yesterday. And now the Friday the 13th series, or I'm sorry, Nightmare on Elm Street series is my favorite series of all when it comes to horror.
Gotcha.
I just have a soft spot for it. But I walked in and I saw there was the main character who was played by Rosanna Arquette. She was like in this bedroom,
Hell yeah,
and
topless as
there was this
hell.
like no. But there was this rocking chair, this like horse rocking chair, which should, I mean, freak out Alex in and of itself.
Oh,
It
yeah.
doesn't freak me
He's
out. It freaks
terrified of
Jacob
them.
out.
Yeah, dude.
No, it
Oh,
freaks
that's
Jacob
true.
out.
Yeah,
It doesn't bother me.
I don't know, man. That's the thing is I haven't experienced paranormal activity like in its true form, like like in front of me or whatever. So I don't know how I'll react, but one day it'll happen, and I'll be happy about it. So
yeah. So essentially, it's the scene where she's in a dream. I didn't realize that at the time, but like the mirror shatters and she like goes flying into it, and there's this spooky music, and it's like a real like jacked up kind of scary house and stuff, and all of a sudden she's in Freddy's house. That was enough for me to like take off running. I was scared
damn, dude, you
shitless
didn't
at
even
that
get
point.
to a kill. You were just like, shit, man, this is too intense
No,
for a
that was
5-year-old.
too much. Yeah, and that stayed with me. I mean, it stayed with me forever. But I did not see that movie again until I was 23 or so. I knew it had to have been one of the Nightmare movies. And so as I started watching the Nightmare movies, for whatever reason, 3 was like one of the last ones I ever saw. It never got played.
It's because
I
you
don't know.
had such a powerful mental block that you were like, I can't watch this movie. I don't know what it is.
Might have been,
I'm
yeah.
so traumatized.
And so when I finally, years and years and years later, when I was in my early 20s, I bought the Friday box, or I keep saying Friday, geez, the Nightmare on Elm Street box set.
Okay.
And I started watching through, and all of a sudden I got to that scene, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is it! This is
This is
like
where all the trauma
this
comes
is what's
from, dude.
yeah, this has scarred me
go.
for life." Hold on, let me actually
Everything's come
watch
full
this.
circle.
Yeah, and I watched it, and I swear it was like everything I remembered about it was in it. It just wasn't scary anymore. But I
Hell
was
yeah,
like,
dude.
"Holy shit!" No, no 5-year-old should watch that.
That's upset. Like that, I think that shouts out Ben and John. They had an episode where they talked about that, and like I forget, it was probably I think it was Ben that had like the movie that he was just terrified of that he saw as a kid, and he was like afraid to go back and watch it. But I think he ended up going back and
John.
watch it. It was like, is it John? Okay, I can't remember I can't remember who was talking about it. Okay,
I'm pretty sure it was John.
but anyways, I mean, yeah, it's just I think that's like my experience was
Poltergeist, wasn't it?
No, I didn't watch Poltergeist till I was like.
No, it was him.
Who,
His was
John?
Poltergeist.
Yeah, that's right. And I actually I was about to say I watched Poltergeist, but I was like 30, so I
That's
watched
a
it like.
fucked up movie to be rated PG, by the way.
Is it only PG?
Isn't it PG? I don't. I believe that was before the whole PG-13 rating
I
happened.
do think that it is not as scary of a movie. Like I mean, obviously I watched it when I was 30, so I mean, I was like 30. That was like 2 years ago or something like that. But it's like thinking about it. I thought it was going to be way more terrifying than it was. It was definitely had its moments where like it's like seeing it at its peak where CGI isn't as prevalent. All the effects in it
Wasn't
looked,
prevalent at all.
yeah,
It
all
was
the
the
effects in
80s.
it looked very practical, and you were like, oh shit, dude, like, is this real? Did they like record like an actual haunting or whatever? And like, all the actors did great. I personally loved the parents in it because they were just fucking chill as hell. They were getting high every night. If the kids came in when they were scared at night and they were high as hell, they were like, buddy, let's go chill out in your room, dog. Let's go, dude. We're fine, And they were chill as hell. But like, yeah, like that shit was like, I guess there is parts of it that were kind of terrifying. Like whenever she gets stuck in the mud, she's trying to get back to the kids. Spoiler alert, and like can't get out of the pool that's like soaked in mud or whatever. But
A bunch of like extras and stunt people died on that movie,
did they
right?
really? I didn't think that
Yes.
it was like that. I know
Like,
that like there's
legitimately.
what is it? Rosemary's Baby. I know that was one of the ones back in the day. But then you got to think like, is it all just is it all just a work? Did they truly like, die?
No, I mean people legitimately died. Like stuntmen died.
Just sounds like OSHA should have been more involved, okay? Or like with the Screenwriters Guild
It
should
was
have
the
been more
80s, dude.
involved.
Shit was crazy in the 80s.
Shit
Are you
was
kidding me?
popping off. Like they were really high on the set. Like they were.
I know
smoking
you
weed for
don't
real.
know that because you weren't born in the 80s. You weren't alive at all during that period,
I was
but shit
close,
was wild
you
in the 80s.
man. But I think Alex, what about you? Do you have like a movie like you remember?
My dad showed me like the first Halloween. I had to be like 4 or 5.
No, okay,
Uh,
Halloween. Which one is that?
Michael Myers,
Michael fucking Myers, dude.
the
Okay,
first one. So they came out what 79.
yes, I think so. This is around there, like 80, I
So,
think maybe, but it's 79. Yeah.
but I do remember the Children of the Corn fucking terrified the
Oh,
shit out of me
yeah.
when
I
I
mean,
was
I
a
was gonna
kid.
say that one. Yeah.
And so like I still, if there's like a really like bleach blonde haired like little kid, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
Those albino kids fucking suck, man.
yeah.
Dude, so scary.
Yep.
Like I don't think I've ever finished the movie. I don't think I've ever watched it all the way through. But I don't know what happens. Do they all die at the end, or they kill somebody at the end, or like I don't know what happens at the end of
I
the movie.
don't know. I think it's too scary for anybody to finish. That's what happens. Nobody actually knows the ending.
But the Michael Myers thing is like I went trick or treating. I think I told this story a long time ago, but like there was somebody that was I didn't know it was a person at the time, but there was like a dummy that was in full garb, the jumpsuit, the mask and everything, just sitting on their porch, and I was trick or treating in the neighborhood. And then like I walked up to it, got candy,
Oh,
and just like
God.
looked at it. I was like, oh my gosh, whatever. Like nothing happened, right? It's like okay. I was like, damn, it looks real. Oh, I was like 7. I was dressed up as Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Had a beer in both hands. Every house.
Yeah,
like,
he did.
It was like
smashed
one of those
together.
classic like latex masks,
This
whatever.
is so good.
So I went out through the
That's awesome.
neighborhood and then came back around, and then like this house, like you drove into the neighborhood and like you went like 2 ways, right? So this was like sitting right in the middle of the neighborhood, the first house you see. And then like we walked by it and like it wasn't there. The person, like the Michael Myers wasn't there, and I'm like, oh wow, okay. And then like because I'd went left and then I was going right, and as I was going right, like this Michael Myers was like following me, like he did
Holy
in the movie.
shit.
Like he
Oh,
picked me,
wow.
and I don't know if like they had told my dad, because my dad was like cool with it, and like eventually once it came like like I confronted it or whatever, like I turned around and he was like right there. I like threw my shit everywhere, like threw all
God,
like,
that's
it's like,
Oh,
so
no.
good, dude. That is
Yeah.
like.
Oh no.
I mean, at the same time, it's like, how long was he following you? Is my question.
Like a
that's
while.
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like, and it's like to be that committed to the bit
because I think
of scaring
because
a
this was
kid.
the neighborhood that had like they had fences and they had like trees and all that shit, so it was very we resembled a lot of like the first movie, so like he could just like hide behind a big old tree and just
Oh,
look
that's
and then
awesome.
so
I hope he was doing that. Like he was that committed
I wasn't
to
the only one in the
character.
neighborhood though, so like he just like I was a mark, I
Your
guess. I
dad's
don't
just
know,
like, God, I wish I had a video camera right now. This would be great. Like, it's be
you
great.
couldn't do that now though.
No.
You couldn't. Someone would sue you.
Oh no.
I mean, you think about that kid that was in the haunted house that like the actor or whatever in the haunted house like stabbed his shoe or something like that, and like his mother freaked the fuck out. It's taking it too far, but I think for me it was Pet Cemetery. I don't know if it was 1 or 2.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even see any.
Knowing you, probably the sequel.
I didn't even see.
Hey,
That's the thing.
Eddie
Is like,
Furlong was in the sequel.
I think my dad was watching it, and then me and my brother came into the living room, and it was like all I remember is a stupid kid fell off of his dirt bike, and he was like laying on the ground, and then I guess I don't know who he is. I don't know, like he's like a bad guy or whatever. But then I remember there was like he almost hit this guy and like he swerved off the road or whatever. He was like laying in the ditch, and the guy was like held his motorcycle up and was like basically getting closer and closer to the kid's face as he revved the engine. And I think eventually the kid's scarf got caught in the wheel or whatever. And they never showed anything, but it's like sucked his face up into the dirt bike
Wasn't
and
that
killed
one
him.
made for TV?
I don't know.
No, no.
Uh,
Was it a theater?
Two was released in theater. So it was after Terminator 2. It had Edward Furlong in it, so he was coming off of his role as John Connor. And it also had gosh, I can't think of his name right now. Anthony Edwards, maybe, as the
Basketball
the dad?
player?
No, Goose.
I know.
I think.
All I know is I saw this scene in particular, and I
Ant-Man.
know that me and my brother flipped our shit. Like we were like, "Turn this off now, Dad." Like, turn this off. We were crying and screaming. I don't know. Like we didn't even see anything other than that part of the movie. We're like screaming and crying over. I think he eventually turned it off and was like consoling us as to like. I think I was like maybe 6 or 7 at the time. So, but that was like I don't know, man. I think that's the last time I ever got scared of a movie, I guess. Like, I don't even know what I was scared about. I know that my kid brain, it was like, this is bad. It's not good, you know? And I remember screaming and crying louder and louder as like the guy got closer and closer to the guy on the ground's face with the motorcycle. And it was like that scene, part of it, like where you see the scarf start flipping up. And in my kid brain, I'm like, oh yeah, I know it's about to happen here. Like turn it off, Dad. I don't want to see this. And again, I was very young, so yeah, it probably would be traumatizing to me, but Jesus, you know.
You know, you just mentioned that was like the last time you ever got scared by a movie. Do you guys ever get like kind of sad that you don't get freaked out by stuff like that
All the
anymore?
time.
Well, you do all the time, Jacob. I know you still get scared by video games, but
Yeah.
like I play a video game, I watch a movie, I go to a haunted house. I know it's all just entertainment. I know it's not real. And so
That's probably why I'm so critical of scary movies is because I want to be scared again. You know, take me out of the real world for a second, please. Like hold my hand, please. Take me out, scare me a little bit, and then put me back in the real world. But
Well, the real world's scary enough. So
that's the thing is like the real world doesn't scare me enough. I know I don't feel anything
I
here.
the difference is, you know, we all like to be scared because it releases those endorphins, and you're like, oh, and then you laugh afterwards because you feel, you know, kind of silly, and you like the feeling.
Yeah. God,
The real world right now, at least, there's no break. That break isn't there.
Yeah, it's just a constant fear.
constant feeling of fear. So
Every
we've
day I
stopped
wake up.
releasing endorphins, and we're just like, well, I guess this is where I live now. Fuck
Man,
me.
Yeah, this is the thing is like I know that Alex, the last time you got scared was like Dead Space remake, right? Like, or not scared technically, like you were like,
I'm scared.
what is the word I guess you would use?
When I played it on like the one life difficulty, I was anxious because like if you get so far and you die, you have to start over. So
Yeah, any
it would
hardcore thing like that sucks.
so it adds a layer of fear is the wrong word, but it adds a layer of just like anxiety to it.
The butthole puckerness, you know?
Yeah, just and you're on edge more and you're a lot more careful because like I can run through the Ishimura like back in my brain. Like,
Then there was The Last of Us too.
Oh,
when you're
dude.
fighting
So
that
yeah,
letdown,
no. So the second one, there's a moment when you go to like the bottom of a hospital. It's fucking terrifying. It's terrifying. Now, granted, I played it at like 2 o'clock in the morning and it was like sleep deprived because I think I beat that game in like 2 days. It was peak COVID, like 2021.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember like I got like the sweats because I was playing with the headphones on, you know. And I got the sweats from because this thing is just like stalking you. It's like the Rat King or whatever.
But yeah, it's like
But yeah.
I think that I get
But like
more
I haven't been like one of those scaries where like I can't fall asleep. I have no issues falling asleep.
That's
So it's
yeah.
like
wait, man, damn, have I ever
I do get lost in things. I still like you know, there's like I still get that feeling of like if I can get really into it, really immersed, I can get that feeling that like not the scared feeling, but like that like you know, like
I'm
creepiness.
trying to think of like
And
the
I
last
think-
time I got scared so mad that I couldn't go to sleep. It's like I don't even know. It's been a hot minute for sure. I'm sure it's happened eventually, like in the past. but
Normally I can't sleep when my child's sick.
that's fair. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah. The fears now are more
Too real.
tangible.
Real.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I got this to do at work tomorrow, and I forgot
Yeah.
to do all this first,
Yeah.
or whatever,
Or like I have to
my
work
my kid
tomorrow.
is sick. Yeah, right. The Sunday scaries. Now, I will say this. I think I feel like to chase that fear high, I almost have to take it to like the real level at this point. Not, don't get me wrong, not like that psycho who's running that
Oh
insane thing where
shit!
he can like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we talked
Oh
about it last
god.
year, where he could like beat you to death. And
Yeah.
Was that last year?
That was last
yeah,
year,
that was
man.
last year.
Because I watched a
Yeah, throwback
documentary
to
about
last
the
year.
whole thing, man, and it
That's
was
right.
like, fucking what? I'll remember it as soon as we get done recording. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't want that.
that's what it sounded like for a second. You were like, I want to go take
Yeah,
his, I want to
no,
go do his experience real quick. I'm pretty sure that
no,
he
no, no,
doesn't
no.
operate. I don't think he's legally allowed anymore, or maybe he is.
Right.
And he's just doing
Oh,
it like some state
I
that he's allowed
guarantee
to.
he still does
He
it.
probably in
Yeah, even if
Texas
he's
now,
not
man.
allowed.
Well, he got shut down right after the Netflix thing.
Technically speaking, he didn't get shut down. I think he just moved, and I think that they're trying, like, he's basically like a con artist essentially, and I think he owes a bunch of people a bunch of money and whatnot. So like he's kind of like on the run essentially. He's like setting up shop in like different places or whatever. Fucking can't remember the dude's name though. Like
Yeah, I can't either.
most intense, scary.
But anyway, so I think what I really want to do now, I want to start looking for those real haunted houses, like you guys were talking about last episode or episode before or something like that. Finding those real ones that exist and going
McCamey
to them.
Manor. Sorry,
Yes.
there it is.
Yeah.
Russ McCamey.
Yep.
If you're out
Yep.
there, you fucking stupid, you idiot.
Never go.
Fucking suck, dude. Got him. Okay, that's still fine. Let's check that out. Again.
But like I know Jacob was saying just a couple episodes or last episode that he wanted to go to like those haunted manors, like the real ones.
Yeah, dude, there's
actually look like
Waverly.
that
I think
spooky.
Waverly Manor or whatever is like up in Kentucky.
Wizards of
I would-
Waverly
That's what I
Palace.
think of every time I
Yeah.
hear it, dude.
I would go with you to that in a heartbeat.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
would love to actually experience something. I mean, and I've had experiences in my life, but those are like things that in the back of my mind I can say, was it ghost? I don't know. It was unexplainable.
yeah,
I can't explain what happened. I want to go to a place that is known for, some sort of supernatural or whatever occurrence, and actually be able to experience it
yeah,
there.
like scare my dick off, dude. Let me go to this
Yeah,
place.
Literally.
But then I will say, Alex texted me, or not texted me. Fucking goddamn he brought up a good point last episode. Shit, dude, I don't know where the fuck my brain went. He brought up a good point last episode, like at the very end, where he's like, well, like if you go seeking that shit and then it happens to you, I feel like, is it like as potent of an experience if you just experience it naturally? You know what I mean? And it was like kind of thing, and it's like, it does take some of it out of it if you go seeking that adventure, and you're like, oh shit, like this is crazy or whatever, versus like just being in the hotel and organically, like, you had no idea it was haunted to begin with, but then you wake up and there's like a chick at the foot of your bed and she's like, haha, and then she takes your sock and runs off with it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna piss myself, but like felt like, oh, dude.
I'm not. I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be like, "Where's my sock?
Yeah.
Like, bring it back."
That's
What do you
happens to
need
your
my
socks.
sock for?
Oh man. Okay.
My dogs are going crazy.
Fucking
Speaking of spooky.
hell yeah, dude. There's probably a ghost outside your door right now. You're just hanging out. Speaking of ghosts, I thought it'd be fun to play a game. We haven't done like a game in a while.
Oh yeah.
And I got this huge ass game set up. All right. So like, would you guys want to play a game?
Oh,
Would you like to play a game?
All right. Here we go.
bucks off. And there's Zoe. Hi, Zoe.
Hey Zoe.
What an adorable girl.
She is very adorable. She's
There we
rotten.
go. Hell yeah. How you doing, Zoe? Oh, I guess she can't hear us right now.
She can't
but
hear you. Here you go. Hold on.
hey Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
How's it going? Okay, so Zoe, tell me something. You're like what? You're like 4 now? 4 years old?
7.
7. Okay.
7.
What do you think is the scariest thing for a 7-year-old?
Is it Daddy's dirty socks?
Hold on. The dark.
The dark.
I think the dark's just fine. The dark's kind of
Yeah.
peaceful. Though. I guess it's like it comes with age. Don't even worry about it. You won't even be scared about the dark later on in your life. It'll be fine. But that is true. I guess now that I think about it, Quinn's scared of the dark too. So it makes sense.
Well, because anything could be in the dark, right? You don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
That's fair. Don't terrify her
mean-
more, I guess. We should...
Oh yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Zoe.
Okay, good. Bye. Love you.
I think it is good to peer inside the mind of a 7-year-old every now and then.
Oh yeah.
So just
All
to
right,
kind
yeah,
of get
I
on
actually-
the streets.
She was here. I should have just pulled up that clip from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, it's traumatized.
Let
other
her
kids.
watch it.
You were traumatized, so why not? Like, why can't we traumatize?
turned out
other
all right.
people? Yeah, it turned out just fine. But
All right, what are the rules of this game?
okay, so let's do it. Okay, so we're gonna play a little game called the Halloween, the Once Your Spaghetti Policy podcast Halloween Face Off. Okay, so how do you win? All right, first of all, contestants are gonna engage in a no rules fight to the death. There are two teams. We've got movie murderers, if I could talk, and actual murderers. Okay.
Okay.
The game is simple. Who would kill the other? The team with the most people alive at the end wins. And people can play at home as well, decide who we think would win and why. All right? And just have fun. Okay?
So I guess because there's 3 people,
Yeah.
if there's a tie, it's majority rules.
Majority
right?
rules. Majority rules,
Okay.
baby. All right?
Are you keeping tally?
Sure. I guess I could do that too. You know, I guess this is my game, so I guess I could just keep tally as well. Sure. Why not?
The game show host needs to know who's winning.
All right.
Not so easy, is it?
Is it Jeff? Is it Jeff? Is that his name? Jeffy's the Jeffies. Doesn't he have somebody that keeps tally? You know, I don't know. Is he canceled?
Who?
The Jeff guy.
Jeff Keighley?
Yeah, he's always in the game shows.
Oh well, I mean,
People hate him.
They,
I don't get
they
hate
tally
him.
all that up like long before, but he's part of that
He's not
group that
canceled.
tallies
He's just
everything.
like pro AI.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that like he has people for that. Like, why can't we get people for that? Like that don't take money. You know, let's get AI to do that for us. Okay, Jeff Keighley,
No.
get AI to do that for
No.
us. All right.
Hold on, let me pull up Chat GPT. No,
All right, ChatGPT, keep score. Real
keep
quick.
tabs.
Okay, so we've got our matchups here. We've got a movie murderers on the left, actual murders on the right. I think that is the same way in the actual slides. I don't remember. So first, let's just go jump right in. We'll just jump right into it. Okay. All right. So first off,
Is your background AI?
no, I just got it off of Google. I don't know where the fuck it's from. I got it off of shouts out to
That probably means
pixabay.com. I think it's free. It's free to use, baby.
It's probably AI.
Probably
Looks
so.
Yeah.
All right.
You say pixelbabes.com.
Pixelbabe.com. Okay, check that out if you're feeling lucky. Okay, so the first fucking matchup. God, I'm so bad at this, man. We've got Chucky the doll.
Spotlight's on you.
I know it really is. We got
You're
Chucky.
definitely like a side quest giver, not the main character.
Yeah,
giver.
dude. I'm
Oh.
absolutely the side quest giver. Like
You're
that's
not quite an NPC. You're just the guy who's like, hey, I got something for you.
I'm the
Go get
I'm
me
the
10 of
courier.
these things.
I'm the courier in Skyrim that just brings somebody their next quest, and like everybody's always trying to kill him. You know, like, it's like I just run up, give you something, and run
This
off.
outfit you're wearing right now, though, you kind of look like the guy that calls you in Hotline Miami.
I haven't played it yet.
Oh, yeah.
I'll check it out.
It kind of does.
It'd be funny if like my whole outfit was based off of Hotline Miami, that guy, and I'm just like playing it off like I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Made my whole
That'd be
persona out of
fantastic.
this. All right, people at home are shouting at us right now. All right, so we've got Chucky the doll versus Charles Manson. Okay, now the reason I chose Charles Manson versus Chucky the doll is because Charles Manson, fun fact, is the shortest known serial killer. So he stands at a whopping, I think, 5'5". So
That
you
is
know.
pretty short.
Okay,
About as tall as you are.
bro, I got 4 inches on the guy, 4.5 inches on the guy, in more ways than one. Am I right, guys? Up top, bring it in. You know. All right, so body counts. Okay, first off, I guess I should say Chucky aired in 1988, the original. Charles Manson, don't remember when he was. 1968 is when he was caught, obviously, because it's on the mugshot.
Go.
We've got Chucky's body count is 38.
Wait, when you say body count,
I don't mean how many people he banged, which I think is actually quite a few because I think he was a bit of a pervert. So,
yeah, and he got a wife, but yeah,
and she turned into
And a
doll.
baby.
And he had a kid.
And a baby, yeah.
Dude. Across all films, though, across the franchise, he had 38 kills, whereas Charles Manson had anywhere from 9 to 13 kills. The only caveat being that he killed them via proxy, a.k.a. he convinced a bunch of chicks and I think maybe a few dudes to go kill those people for him. So I think he did music, and that was his style of killing. He just convinced other people to go kill these people, whereas Chucky got his hands a little bit dirty. He was running around stabbing people a bunch. I think he just used whatever tools were around, right? So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Who's walking away with the first one?
you want us to go in order?
You could
Do you
do
want?
whoever wants to go first. I'll pick up the rear end, or I can go second, whichever. We can let
You
Ian.
are the rear end.
I am nothing but the rear end.
Yeah, the caboose, if you will. I think Charlie walks away with it. I think Charlie Manson.
Ooh.
And the reason I think that is Chucky's kills in the movies are mostly just one-on-one, and he's got to sneak up on people.
Mm,
So if we're talking just like a death battle between the two of them, no holds barred, they can use whatever. Charles knows that Chucky's coming for him. Chucky may have a knife or whatever,
yeah,
but
he's got
Charles Manson has all his people around
he's got
him.
power
So
in numbers, really.
Chucky's got to go through the hundreds of people to even get to Charles Manson. And at that point, it's no longer one-on-one, and there's no element of surprise. I think you get a couple people. It's pretty easy to just kind of grab Chucky and pull his arms off, and
Okay,
it's done.
all right.
I mean, that was gonna be my point. I don't really know why Chucky's alive, but like,
Okay,
he's
so-
a fucking doll.
Well, the theory is, or not the theory, that what happens in the movie is like apparently he was a known con man / bank robber. He utters a curse right before he dies, and the only thing close to him is the Chucky doll, which I forget the technical name for him. It's like the good guy, I think is what his name is on his shirt there, the good guy doll or whatever. And his spirit goes into the good guy doll.
Gotcha.
I
I figured it was something silly.
Now,
So,
who are you going with?
I mean, like, he's a doll.
Okay,
I know he's pretty indestructible though, right? Because there's like
He
110 movies.
his come back every single movie. Yeah,
Yeah, like you can burn him.
I think that
You
they're
can
rebooting the
blow
franchise
him
as
up.
well.
You
so.
can like rip his head off, rip him in half, and he's somehow going to come back. So like, I mean, Charles Manson's a real person. So if I can kill him once, he's not coming back. So it's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Mhm. That's what I'm saying.
Now
There's
that
a
I think
lot of
now that I
angles.
think about it. If we're just basing it off of like if they were both real, I mean, Chucky doesn't die, so like I gotta give it to Chucky.
That was also kind of my point when I was thinking about this, is that I think that Chucky would theoretically walk away with this one, right? Just because of the fact that like he can come back alive, right? Yeah, you're talking about like if Manson has all his groupies following him, hanging out with him, they can only protect him so much. And to be fair, Charles Manson is the exact type of hippie dude that Chucky would just love burying a knife into his chest.
Because like here's the thing, so like
Fair enough.
Chucky can't sneak up, or like his only thing is one-on-one. So like Charles Manson has his groupies, and they dispose of him. They do all these things. Well, eventually they're gonna forget about him, and Chucky's gonna come back, and he's gonna kill them off one by one. It's gonna be really long. It's gonna take a long time.
Yeah, it's gonna take
but
several
eventually-
movies. It's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna-
So, but eventually Chucky's gonna win. But like,
all right. So I think it's a little bit of an
That's a good
unfair
point.
matchup, but I think Chucky does walk away with this one.
Chucky wins?
So Chucky wins this one. Okay, so we got 1 point for the movie killers. All right. Moving on. We have next up good old Dennis Rader, aka BTK, bind, torture, kill. You don't really need to know how he had his victims. He would literally bind, torture, and kill him. This goes for the entire family. Everybody gets to enjoy the fun, I guess is what you would say. Versus Pinhead. Now, caveat here, I've never seen the Pinhead movie series. I have a gist of like what goes on. I think Hellraiser, I think is what it is, and I think he has a
Hellraiser.
bunch of different like minions that go and like chop people up. Like he makes toys or something of that nature. I don't know. But Pinhead had 35 kills over his movie franchise, whereas BTK only had about 10 to 12 people, depending on who you believe. Like, because I think he confessed to some extra ones or whatever. But, so I mean,
so question for you:
I
Did Pinhead die?
think that he's already dead. I think that might be. I actually need to Google this real quick. So, Ian, give me your answer.
So I will be completely transparent here. I've never seen any of the Hellraiser movies. I'm aware of some of the concepts as well, but I've never seen any of them. I didn't know who Dennis Rader was before now.
Really? I mean, I guess it's fair.
didn't.
Now that I think about it, like, not everybody's gonna be up to like serial killer lore. There's a few that I don't know, but like, I
Just
obviously
love throwing the word lore around when it just
Yeah.
comes to like information. Let me look at the lore of this United States history book.
I mean, hell, that's one way to get me interested in it. Honestly, like, oh, you're telling me
That's
we have
true.
like extensive lore? Like, hell yeah, dude. Let me read this real quick.
Yeah, about 400 years.
Yeah, right.
We didn't do anything bad during that time, right? I'm sure.
Never. Not
Yeah,
once.
okay, that's what I
So here's what I get out of Dennis Rader. Bind, torture, kill. That's how he does it. You said that, right?
Yes.
Look at Pinhead. You think
He's
he's
into
gonna?
that shit.
Yeah, exactly. The dude, you bind him, you torture him. Oh, he's not going to be screaming
He
in
fe-
pain.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
Okay.
feeds off that,
so
dude.
he is the leader of the
He's
Cenobites, which are like his
yes.
people. I think he might be from like
The what?
the Cenobites. He's
Cenobites.
from
Like with an
a,
S and not like cinnamon.
no, like
No, with a C.
Cenobites.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cenobites, and they are from a extra dimensional realm that is hell, and they coexist or whatever. And apparently, like his whole thing is like, funny enough, binding people up and like torturing them. So kind of crazy. Like these guys, I feel like I kind of planned this out a little bit. It's kind of nice. Good job, me.
Yeah.
So you've got
So yeah, I don't
two
think there's
individuals.
anything. I don't think there's anything that Dennis Rader can do to actually hurt Pinhead because Pinhead's just going to enjoy it. He's going to be
that's the
like
thing.
popping a boner.
That's the thing about this situation that we're in right now, because the whole thing about BTK is like early in his life, the reason he was so good at like binding people up and binding people together is because like he practiced on himself. Therefore, like, and that was the whole thing. One of the big things was that he got sexual gratification out of like binding, torturing, and killing people, and like that was his whole thing. It got us rocks hard, right? And so like what I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me in the comments below and or in the pod comments, that he would take pictures of himself in a grave, bound and being like gagged or whatever. And so like he was getting this whole. So I think that you have two individuals.
Completely stable human being.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
completely.
I mean that's why he killed 10 to 12 people. I mean, who doesn't? At being completely stable.
He's probably a therapist.
It's a unique situation in which you have two characters, right? One obviously being from an extra dimensional plane, but both really just like to have a good time. They would have been really really into like what is it? What is that thing you like to?
BDSM.
BDSM. There we go. Bingo. You get a point.
What were you gonna say?
S&M, SNL. I don't know.
S&M works, I guess.
Yeah.
I think
But
S&M's the store, right?
S&M, the BDSM store.
Yeah, there we go.
I feel like I don't know what S&M.
I'm going with Pinhead. Just
Yeah,
Okay.
I am
I'm
too.
tired of looking at this dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Pinhead because the dude came from hell. I mean,
man, that is.
Dennis
Yeah.
Rader's a human. It kind of goes back to the Chucky thing again.
I feel like we do have to get out of that idea because, like, yes, I understand that these are technically speaking fictional characters, and they would have.
You said there were
obviously-
no rules.
I know
Jacob.
that is true. It is no rules. So okay, well, Pinhead's walking away with this one because I also think that Pinhead would probably push Dennis Rader to the point where like, he just comes all over himself, but then dies. So next up, we have everybody's favorite Jason Voorhees versus.
What a weird picture to use of Jason.
Edmund
not the
Kemper.
one
Yeah.
with the hockey
Hey,
mask.
I
But
respect it. I respect it.
This is the original Jason Voorhees. This is what
I
I
know.
know you do, but I'm just saying, like, for the audience out there, like the reason that the whole reason he wears a ski mask, I had no idea, is that like he's seriously fucked up. Like he looks gross. Please put a mask on.
Please wear a
but-
mask.
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees, as we all know, loves to like just again. He started off with an axe, but then I think switched on to later movies to a machete. Just
machete.
fucking the one scene I remember ever. I think one of the like briefest moments that I saw an actual Jason movie was like the one where he was in space.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and he was like killing
Yeah,
co-eds in a simulation, but then like
Yeah.
they were distracting him so they could get off the fucking spaceship. So cool. There was boobs in it. I remember that much.
There were a lot of boobs in that one. Yeah.
Uh,
Actually, pretty much in all of them.
Fair enough.
That's probably the best he's looked though, like aesthetically.
Yeah, that's fair. But
It's very 90s.
Ah.
It's very 90s.
You talking about when he gets like Cyber Jason or whatever, and he's like half metal.
Goes
and-
Terminator Jason over here.
I saw that movie in the theaters. I paid to see that movie.
I don't have any reason to like things that are half cybernetic.
No,
I mean,
no,
no
not
way.
at all.
Yeah, fucking, you're gonna have a cameo of Jason in it now. Like it's.
Uh,
So we've got Jason, who has a body count of 151. I do believe that is over his entire franchise. I think they are rebooting a lot of these not serial killer. What do you call these slasher films series?
I do like that you're doing this, but what would have been really cool is to do horror icons versus like action movie icons.
Hey, you know what, buddy? That's next year. Putting it on the roster right now. That's next year. I did, the whole reason I did want to do this is to like have something that we can build upon. So like,
Sure.
yes, I am taking it. I'm taking what is the word I'm looking
Notes?
for? Notes. Taking anybody wants to give us
Criticisms?
anything. Let me know.
Tell me about Edmund Kemper.
Edmund Kemper, Okay, first of all,
Kemper.
pronounce the name right. First of all,
Well, it looked like an L was in there. I'm sorry.
that's fair.
Your
The font is
sucks.
it's not my fault. It's Google's. Whatever, dude.
It's a spooky font.
I tried my best. Okay, I threw this together literally today. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Again, you had
I
2 weeks.
procrastinate. It's what I do. Okay. Edmund Kemper was.
Hey, while I'm gone on vacation, why don't you work on this? Okay, I'll do that.
I had too much time. You gave me too much time to work on it. Is what the problem was. I'm taking.
Yeah,
I'll
it's my
take the
fault.
blame.
You're right,
No,
it's my fault.
I'll take
It's
the
my
blame for
fault.
that because I should have known that it was going to be too much time, and I should have just went ahead and gave myself a stricter deadline. But Edmund Kemper has a body count of 10.
Okay.
He was, in his own words, a bumblebutt of a person. Just traumatized as a kid. Really hated his mom. His mom was very like verbally abusive. Not the greatest. So
Didn't Jason hate his mom?
he did as well, which is
No, Jason loved his mom.
too much.
Exact
Some would say.
opposite.
But then again, I think
It-
that Ed also loved his mom too much. But it
Because
was like,
wasn't the first one his mom?
The first one's his mom because he died. He drowned as a child, so she's taking it out on the counselors.
that's right.
Is
Yeah.
that the
And-
one with Johnny Depp in it?
Yeah. No. That's Nightmare on Elm Street. That's the one. Kevin Bacon is in
That's right.
Friday the 13th, the original.
That is one of them.
But Edmund has a body count of 10. I
I've
think I
seen
said
all
that.
way too many times.
I need to watch him, honestly. I need to go back and watch his old films.
Oh, they're so good.
But Edmund had such a hatred for his mother because she could never let him, like, he could never do anything right in her eyes, that he took it out on co-eds. He was a scaredy cat, let's just say. All right. So he would shoot the person first and then kill them, take their bodies back, dismember them, play around with the corpses. We'll be PG about it. He was playing around with the corpses a little bit, and then he would go and like chuck them off into some river or some shit. But he did that up until the last 2 kills, which were his mother and his mother's friend. And
He didn't play around with his mother.
I don't want to
before
get into that because that's not for me to discuss on this podcast. Yes, he did. Anyways, so I thought the fun thing about these two is that Jason Voorhees, very tall individual. Edmund Kemper is also the tallest serial killer. I think he stands at a strong 6'7".
Holy shit, that's a big man.
He is a very giant man. If you've watched Criminal Minds on Netflix, which has now been canceled, I think they got all the way through season 2 and they canceled it for season 3. It was an excellent show, but he's like one of the
The
pivotal
Netflix
characters in that because he won't shut the fuck up. He wants to tell everybody, like, he's the biggest blabbermouth in the serial killer community. People hate him for it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can't believe a word he says because he's just saying it for attention. Who's walking away with this, boys? Jason Voorhees. Yeah. I feel like it's...
Yeah, I mean, it's very...
one hit and he's done.
Yeah,
I still think...
ultimately...
Yeah. Yeah, because...
I mean, what's Edmund gonna do?
That's the thing. Is like I think Edmund would be too obsessed with the fact that like, oh, Jason, you're such a big guy, such a big guy.
Well, first
Well,
of all,
you said he likes women. He
Right.
attacks
I'm-
co-eds.
He's
That's
very
not
much
Jason.
so. I feel like actually no, you're thinking right because I think he would be jealous of Jason because Jason has such a high body count. If I'm not mistaken, Ed was like always irritated with like anybody who came after him, like the serial killers or whatever came after him, like, oh, he didn't kill as many as me or whatever, like he blah blah blah. So I think you're right. I think that Ed would be too jealous, and Jason would be like, slop his head off just real quick, make it quick
real quick. Make
Yeah,
sure
be
we're
over.
it wouldn't.
before it even started.
It would be one of
honestly.
those kills that like they don't even really pay attention to in the movie.
That's fair. It's not looking good for this actual serial killers right now. We'll have to say. We've got these 2 fun little guys that look almost alike. Okay, we've got the good old Freddy Krueger versus everybody's favorite Jeffrey Dahmer. I forgot if Jeffrey's the one who ate people. I think he's the
Yes.
one. Is he the
Mhm.
one that ate
He did.
people? Okay.
Yep.
So, anyways, Jeffrey Buddy Boy's got a body count of 17, whereas Freddy Krueger surprisingly only has 39, but still a lot. So, I'm not sure. Like, I think I want to say that Chucky only killed like 4 people in his first movie, but this is about Chucky. Anyways, I was having a thought about it the other day.
I feel like Ian's gonna go with Freddy just because he likes that series.
It is. Go ahead.
I think that Freddy's kind of lame. There's the whole like dream thing.
Does he have to kill you in your dreams for you to die?
Yes.
Yes.
So theoretically, you just wake yourself up, but I guess he won't quit until you're dead. I don't know how, but you have to break the curse to stop him or something like that. I don't.
Typically, they have to rip him out of the dreams and then kill him in real life because
I
once you
just
bring him
feel
to
like
real
if
life,
they-
he's just a normal man.
Okay.
Which Jeffrey Dahmer would just eat him.
I mean, he still has the glove, to be fair.
Eh.
He does,
I mean,
but he has to catch you in your
Jeffrey-
dreams. Like, and I feel like Jeffrey Dahmer would have some fucked up dreams to the point where like Freddy wouldn't be able to know what to do. He
I'm
would
going with Dahmer, dude.
Okay.
I will say it would be one of those situations where I think Dahmer.
It do be.
It,
It do be.
It do be one of
It
those
do be.
situations where Dahmer kind of like walks away with it, but it's like it's a tie, it's a stalemate to where he like just Freddy just gives up. He's like, "Fuck it, like I'm just
I
tired
don't
of
know
your
why that
weird
made me
ass
laugh so hard. It do be one of them situations. We're talking about like serial killers.
But he killed
I-
17 young men, and yeah, it's right. I forgot that. And Jeffrey, honestly, probably would find Freddy a little bit attractive and be like, "Yo, dude," and he would continue to hit on him because he was a sex offender. And then Freddy would be like, "Dog, I just can't handle all this, man. You got some weird, fucked up dreams. You're over here eating people and shit." And I'm just like, I gotta go. I got better things to do. I gotta get out of here, you know. So I think I'm with Alex on this one, unfortunately.
So I'm gonna take a different spin on this than I think you guys think I would have. I'm not gonna look at Freddy Krueger, the Dream Demon, because I mean, he can do whatever he wants in his dreams. So we're gonna pull Freddy into the real world. But what we need to take a look at is Fred Krueger was a known sadist. He created that glove long before he was ever turned into Freddy Krueger, the Dream Demon. He, shall we say, again, played with, tortured, and killed many children in Springfield, where he lives, and killed several adults as well, long before he was ever tracked down and burned in a fire.
Hence locking him in
So-
as the Dream Demon.
Yes.
Okay.
So Freddy is not helpless. If we're talking a hand-to-hand fight here, how did Jeffrey typically kill his victims? Do we know?
That's the fun thing is that he drug them first, and then he would strangle them to death, and then have sex with their corpses. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Okay,
maybe consume a
so-
pound or two of them. But yeah, most of the time, I think
I-
all the times it was like he would drug them first. They would get all tipsy and whatnot, pass out, and he'd be like, "Time to die." You know. I think he honestly, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, October. I've been going on a huge like true crime kick again. So
Time to die.
yeah, well, I think he would wait until like right before they
know.
woke up, and he would strangle them to death. So it's like, oh shit, you know.
See, like where you all went like horror movies, I went
Duke
action
Nukem.
movies. Yeah, I
Mhm.
went action
Yep.
movies, man. That was my bread and butter.
All right, so what do you think? Who's walking away?
You
with
know,
Ian?
I think it's very close. I think Jeffrey actually walks away with it, and I know you guys didn't expect me to say that, but
Hey,
again, I think if we're looking at Dream Demon Freddy, then you can't stop him. But real world, which is the only place in which they could actually have a fair fight, I think Jeffrey takes it.
he offers him a drink. Freddy takes it, passes out. And Jeffrey's like, okay,
And then he takes
it's my
it.
time to shine. I mean, yeah, honestly, he probably does.
Hey,
But
look at that. Well, at least you know the real life guys didn't get swept.
hey, they didn't get swept, and that's what I'm saying.
they're like
man.
they're like the Oilers. They were down 3-0.
What
Now
is
it's
it?
3-1.
What is it?
Yeah.
Is it 3-1? Okay, so we're on 5 right now. Okay, sheesh. We only got 4 more of these guys. Okay, so everybody's I said everybody's favorite already. Everybody knows him. Everybody hates him. It's John Wayne Gacy, baby. Versus,
So shouldn't it have been Leatherface?
I thought it was funnier because John Wayne's whole thing is like
headless.
headless. And he had sex with the headless bodies or whatever. Versus the headless horseman. His
But
literal
it wasn't
dream
Leatherface
date.
based on him?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
He was.
technically speaking, he was based on him. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so.
Well, it's fine. It's a curveball. It's
I
fine.
did. There was also another point or later in the movies where it was, and later in the game where I'm like, fuck, I missed an opportunity to put Gacy against another character we'll get to, and I'm like, because that would have been funnier. Anyways, as we all know, this is the Headless Horseman from the Sleepy Hollow, which is, I honestly, from what I remember, a really good horror film that had Johnny Depp in it, if I'm not mistaken. It's a
Two with
solid.
Johnny Depp.
It's a solid fucking film. I think Headless Horseman, it never really described how many kills he had. He had a handful. I think he was murdering everybody in the town because I think some lady stole his head and got to control him. And so she was getting revenge for something. I think killing her lover or some shit. And so like he was going around town lopping people's
Is this
heads
based
off.
off the movie or just like the legend?
This is based off the movie. Sorry, is what I should
Okay.
say.
Because I was gonna say like
Could
he's
be
very
based on
old.
the
The legend,
lore.
I have no idea about the legend.
lore. Yeah,
the lore of it.
The lore of it
the
all.
lore.
Gacy, on the other hand, had 33 33 kills plus. I don't think they found them all. They were mainly teenage boys who would like take back and like, hey, have a good time, and then he did what
I
he
don't
did.
like
Okay,
how you say that.
I don't. I'm trying to keep it light, okay? Because
But
Serial killers, we're keeping it light, guys.
we're keeping it light.
Come
here,
on now.
okay? But
Keeping it happy.
he would, he'd, gone, and then he did what he did. Okay, he put him underneath the floorboards, which obviously it's gonna smell really bad. Eventually, people are gonna ask questions. Crazy thing is, dude was a politician, so you gotta know that he's not the only one. Am I right, guys? He's not the only politician out there doing this, right?
I guarantee Ted Cruz has done this at least
Dude,
12 times.
Yeah, Ted Cruz probably took the playbook from Gacy and is like just hanging out with a bunch of dead boys. I'm sorry, that sounds so bad to say.
Matt Gaetz doesn't have the dead boys. He has the teenage
Just
girls,
underage
but,
girls, yeah. Which,
Yeah.
funnily enough,
wasn't there like a rumor with Ted Cruz about
he was a Zodiac killer? Yeah,
His dad was the Zodiac
fucking-
killer. That's what Donald Trump said,
So
of all
fucking
people. And now
funny.
he bends the knee
Oh,
to
yeah,
that
man.
man and sucks him off.
Oh
So,
yeah, man.
Anyway,
It's great. But anyways, personally, I think that Gacy walks away with it here. I do. Just because he's fucked up, dude. I feel like it's fucked up to the point where like he would do whatever he could to imprison the headless horseman and then have his way with him. So it's just like I think that he just walks away with it. I mean, it's that's me. That's my personal opinion.
For me, it's Gacy. Headless Horseman was taken down by a scrawny ass Ichabod Crane.
That's right, yeah.
Let's be real here. I mean, John Wayne Gacy's gonna easily end him.
And it's now I do think that like I think if the headless horseman gets his head back, he could technically speaking drag John Wayne Gacy to hell, where he should be, rested in piss, my guy. But
he's never gonna get that head back.
But
John
that's what
Wayne
I'm saying.
Gacy's
Like
too
he's gonna
busy
make
having
sure.
sex with it.
Oh yeah, dude. He's gonna be sure to keep that head away from the headless horseman. So, Alex, what about you?
It doesn't matter.
I think your opinion,
John Wayne wins.
Your opinion matters. It's all about.
I mean, Headless Horseman's not really John Wayne's type, so.
He's a guy, and
But he's not a boy.
I don't know, man. I haven't seen what's under that tunic, So maybe it's a hairless chest. I don't know.
I'm just for posterity. I'm going to say Headless Horseman, but
Okay,
John Wayne wins.
that's fair enough. Okay, so that's 2.
3-2.
3-2. They're making a little bit of comeback here.
It's the Stanley Cup.
It's gonna be crazy. I just realized I have 4 here, so if there's a tie, it's fucking soccer rules, baby. They both walk away with it. All right, we got a fun little treat here, boys and girls. It's gonna be Jigsaw, the guy, not the doll, versus David Parker Ray, aka the Toy Box Killer. Now, the Toy Box Killer is a little bit of an unknown serial killer, so I will say, if you want to have a fun afternoon, check out last podcast on the left. They have a little episode where they talked about the Toy Box Killer. He's one fucked up individual along the lines of Jigsaw the guy. He would basically go out to bars and find women. I do believe it was all women, younger ladies. They were all, I think, technically speaking, over 18. But he would just imprison them, and then he'd play it. They'd wake up unconscious after being unconscious for like a day or two, and then like he'd have just a tape playing. They'd be strapped to some table or whatever, and he'd have a tape playing and telling it, and the whole thing. A lot like Jigsaw. And we all know how Jigsaw did his thing where he would like capture people and put them in like they're mostly bad people, right? If I'm not mistaken, or they all just like shitty people, kind of like I guess.
Yeah, usually.
Put them in like situations where they had to like choose. To not die in gruesome ways or like, lose an arm or something like that. But
did David Parker Ray kill all of his abductees?
That's the thing. They don't know. Because theoretically he was only prosecuted on, I think, sexual assault charges. Because, I think one of his victims escaped, and then there was another victim that he had that had escaped, but she couldn't remember anything that happened to her until she saw his face on the TV after his arrest and realized, oh, fuck. And then it all came rushing back to her. And, but I don't think he's went down for any murders, so theoretically hasn't technically killed anybody. Now, Jigsaw, on the other hand, he's got 60. He's got 60 bodies, right?
Did he kill anybody though?
But he didn't technically kill anybody. So it is kind of a...
He didn't.
Dude, it's almost like my brain knew what to do with these people. Because
Yeah,
theoretically, he didn't kill anybody. Although, I don't... Did he...
He gave everyone in the choice.
That's fair. I don't know if that's his
The
justification in the movies or whatever. I haven't actually sat through an entire Saw movie because I can't.
Really?
the original is fantastic.
The
First one was
original,
pretty good.
the original is good because like it's not as gruesome. I think that they really turned up the gruesome
Such a
factor.
walking contradiction. I've never watched one, but the first one's good.
It's not as gruesome.
I don't know if I sat through the whole thing. Okay, I watched it. I stopped watching and I start watching it other times. It was on FX all the time, so I don't know what all I saw. So
The original feels a lot like Seven. It's more of like a
There's
almost
like
like
10,
a
right?
no, it's like the movie Seven, where it's
Oh,
more of
what's the
like a
box? What's the
it's more
box?
almost this like cop like noir kind of crime noir film, very
Like,
dark, grungy, gritty.
But in the first one, like the third one or some shit.
Mm, I don't know. I've only ever watched one, two, and three, and after
I'm pretty
three,
sure
I
like
walked away.
pretty sure 3 is like a prequel to the first two. Like 3
No,
I know
ends
a
no.
chick
where
takes
1
over at
starts,
some
right?
point.
No. Three is after he's dead. So one, two, and three are
But
in order. I know that for a fact. I saw it.
Oh, so
Three,
4 is the one
maybe, yeah.
where there's a dude who's like the main character of 4 is like in the room of 1 or something like that.
Carrie Elvis, maybe. I don't know.
I
I
don't know,
didn't see
something.
beyond three. I stopped watching because the whole point of it was, there's this rule, and if you do what you're supposed to do, then you can get out alive, even if you're maimed. And when Amanda took over his protege, she just wanted to kill him, and so they would do what they were supposed to do in three, and then they would still die in some terrible, gruesome way, and it just kind of was torture porn.
and I feel like
And
that's my
I
problem with
Okay.
tapped
it.
out.
And
I tapped out on the series at that point. I was like,
that's always
no,
my
I don't
thing.
like this.
Yeah.
Saw 3 and 4 take place at the same time. They're parallel sequels.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
okay, interesting. Yeah,
Jigsaw
well,
is both a prequel and a sequel.
okay.
I feel like they're trying to
The
play too
movie.
many games.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 movies.
But that's like what I was talking to Frederick about in the Discord. Shout out to the Discord. If you want to invite, let me know. I'll send you one personally. But that like a lot of those movies, they kind of fell into that category of like they just took it too far. Like I understand that
Mhm.
genre is very specific genre and like people watch it for that, but it was like too much. It's just
Hostel
it's
was
just
brutal.
yeah. That's the thing. It's like okay, like what is the end goal here? Like it literally is like you said, torture porn. Like it's like I don't know,
Yeah.
man. But speaking of torture porn, who's walking away with this disgusting fest? I I think it's a stalemate.
I actually would agree because I don't know if David Parker Ray is actually willing to do what it takes to walk away from Jigsaw's thing alive.
And I think that it would be one of those situations where they meet at a bar. They're like they know that they're in this game, so like they're gonna play a higher game of like, oh, well, let's just meet civilly in a bar, right? They both drug each other, right? But they already had it in plan that their people, right, would come and get that other guy and take him and hook him up
Mhm.
to their messed up shit that they've got, right? So Jigsaw ends up getting back to to David Parker Ray's place, and he's put in a compromising position. He's getting all kinds of effed up, right? While David Parker Ray is having to play a game of his own, right? He's losing both of his hands. He's got his feet in some bear traps or some shit, and right where it's a point where like neither one of them walk away because they just end up. I don't know if they off each other. They just die from whatever, or like I don't know, but I think it's kind of a stalemate in the sense like I think that there's no winner. They just kind of like cancel each other out.
Yeah, the only way I could see a winner is David Parker Ray never. There was never a fatal ending for any of his victims that we're aware of.
Yeah, because his whole
And
thing was I don't think he was
so
into the killing part so much as it was just about the power and the drugging and the taking advantage of
yeah.
people and whatnot.
So I think I've got to hand it to Jigsaw only because there's a 50-50 chance that David Parker Ray dies
That's fair.
because of his own inaction.
Because yeah, I think you're right on there. Alex, what about you? I'll let you go with this one. What are you thinking?
Jigsaw.
Okay. And I think that even if it was to the point like where I was talking about where it's a stalemate, I think that Jigsaw plans so far ahead, whereas David Parker Ray really just is in it for the moment and he's gonna catch and release kind of thing. Where
Hmm.
Jigsaw is like, you might think that you killed me in the end, but truly you're the one who's gonna be dead, because I can never die, right? And that's when like the building collapses on top of David Parker Ray, even though he thinks he won. Yeah, so all right, so we're going with Jigsaw. That's right. We've got the movie characters with 4, and the actual killers with 2, baby. That means we've got 2 of fan favorites again, my guy. So Michael Myers versus the Richard Ramirez, a.k.a. the Night Stalker.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not going to lie here. I don't know a whole lot about Richard Ramirez, except for the fact that he fucking did it at night, and he stalks people, like, a lot. So, let me look up some stats for him.
You're supposed to have all these.
I was
like,
supposed to, yes.
Remember, he had 2 weeks to do this, which means he had no time to do
I
this.
did. Now, I will say Michael Myers, over his stunning career, starting back to 1978, so that's when the first movie aired, he had 133 bodies, whereas the Night Stalker had 15 plus. So,
still pretty impressive.
still pretty impressive. I do remember the fact that, like, the Night Stalker, he was had a town terrorized. He literally, like, he literally terrorized an entire town. Like, they could not find him. They could not catch him. It was in the San Francisco Bay Area. They called him also the walk-in killer and the Valley Intruder. Oh gosh.
Richard Ramirez was the one that would just walk into their house, right? And if the door was unlocked, he
That's right.
took that as a sign from God.
Yeah, and he
that
would, like,
he was supposed to kill that person.
not gonna
And if
lie
it
to
was
you
locked,
guys.
he just moved on.
Not gonna lie to you guys. That's why I always lock my door, and I'm always terrified if the doors are unlocked, even the back door, because I always sometimes will forget the back door. It's like that's the thought I have to every time. Like I remember those words where it was like, yeah, he saw it as a sign from God. He's gonna walk in and kill the entire family in that house, and it was like, that's enough for me to lock my doors for the rest of my life. So
You should lock your doors anyways.
you should. But anyways, he was heavily addicted to, like, cocaine. Did a lot of attempted murders and rapes and whatnot early on.
I mean, I feel like Michael Myers is the number 1 seed here. Like, he's the juggernaut.
he is, and he's, again, I think he's another one of those unkillable. Like, he's one of those unkillable movie characters where, like, even if you run him over with a truck, you set him on fire, you drop him down a well, like you imprison his body in a special cage.
Didn't he just die though?
Did he finally die? Like, was he?
I think he finally died in the most recent one.
So I guess it depends on the version of Michael Myers we're referring to, because if
Right.
you're
There's
looking at him
3.
early
There's
on,
3, right?
well,
There's
I
the
mean,
Rob Zombie universe.
well,
There's
yes.
the original universe, and then there's the new universe that branches off from Halloween 1.
Yeah, and ultimately, I mean, if you go back to the original Halloween 1, he's just essentially an insane person. He's
It's
a
so
human,
good.
but it's a situation where I don't know how they get into this. It's like he doesn't feel pain. So
I think that's his
that's
whole
why
thing,
he
right?
can
He
get
just, like,
stabbed
yeah.
and shot, and he just keeps going. It's because he doesn't feel it.
And it's not necessarily that he can survive so much. It's just like he doesn't
Well,
feel
he
it. He's not
does.
slowed down by it.
Yeah, he does,
He
but
does survive it.
But
yeah,
and I think, I don't know, man. And the thing about it is, like, good old Richie here, right? He doesn't strike me as the type to be, like, standing up to Michael Myers. He's more so, like, hiding in the
Dude,
shadows.
Michael Myers is the king.
And that's the thing. That was honestly when I was putting it together. I was like, we have the Night Stalker versus, like, the original Night Stalker, right? I don't know if he's the original. I don't know who came first, honestly. But
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers.
what I don't know when was he? When was I don't know when Richard Ramirez was, but
90s.
90s.
Right.
Okay, yeah, then yeah, the original. Like, he's like, yeah, Michael Myers is like the original Night Stalker. So I feel like he
Yeah.
walks away with it easily. He's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
he sees it
landslide.
behind him.
Ultimately, I mean, Night Stalker has to make sure your door's unlocked, but Michael Myers doesn't have a house, so he doesn't have a door.
Yeah, and while he's checking, like, Michael Myers' supposed
Michael Myers will
house-
find a way to get in if he wants to.
Oh yeah,
That's fair. That's the scary thing about him, honestly. Like, he's just
he
gonna
murdered his sister when he was like 6.
That's scary, man. Anybody that just, like,
So
up and murders their that's terrifying. We live in terrifying times. Okay, it's all scary.
Next,
All right, so I know
it's 5-2.
that
Mhm.
technically speaking, the movie killers are gonna walk away with this one, but we're gonna do this last one for fun because now
Hey.
now you'll realize here why I should have paired who I should have paired Gacy with, because again, the infamous clown that is Gacy, who literally was a birthday clown, versus, like, the Pennywise the clown. I mean, come on. Should have done it, didn't. I figured it would be funnier to see these two dumb shit brothers face off against what I didn't realize is, like, a giant entity. I didn't realize that Pennywise was
yeah.
from another planet or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Have you never watched it?
I haven't watched that either because I'm terrified of it. I haven't even
you
watched
should
the new
watch
ones.
the newer ones. The newer ones are
I
fantastic.
need
heard
to
the
check 'em
second
out.
one was not good.
The thoroughly enjoyed both.
Isn't there
of
like
them.
some kind of weird like sex with kids kind of scene? They all get together, like not in the movie, but in the book or something like that. Like doesn't
No, it's not sex.
I thought a bunch of kids got together and like fondled each other or some shit like that. I don't know. But I mean, like, who didn't do that as kids? Am I right, guys? Up top. Come on, you know. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Pennywise didn't like he, technically speaking, has the highest body count because they don't know how many countless people he's killed because he's this
Every
giant.
like
Every 100
30,
years, I think.
100.
Yeah, it's every so many years.
Or every
Pennywise
70 years or
entity
something,
will
yeah.
come and like kill like 200 people or some shit like that. He's been killing people for like a long time, so he's got a lot of bodies.
Menendez brothers only have
Two, their parents, because these pieces
And-
of shit like were upset. Like
well, no, they
No,
were
there's more to
getting
it.
they were getting sexually abused by their father.
okay, well maybe there's a little bit going on. Okay, maybe a little.
There was
bit.
a lot of
But then I
there was
also-
a lot of abuse. They kind of had a reason to do it, to be honest.
I also maybe have heard that they used that. Like it might not have been like full on like abuse. I don't know the whole story or whatever, but it was like they were using that, quote unquote, stuff they were experiencing as justification for like doing what they did to their father and their mother. So, but
It's very possible. They are about to
knows?
get another trial, though. It sounds
I
like
have heard a lot about them recently.
There's a
there was an
documentary.
FX.
That's right,
Yeah,
yeah.
not a documentary. It was like a kind of like the OJ one. It's like a docu series.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know,
But yeah.
but
What's funny about the Menendez brothers is they were the day. What is it? So like the day that they committed this crime,
they went
where
to
killed
they went to
their
a
parents,
basketball game.
and
Yeah.
they are on the picture of Mark Jackson basketball
Their front
card.
row, baby.
Mhm.
I didn't. Yeah.
I used to have that card.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Worth a fuck
That's
ton of
crazy.
money, like just for that alone. But
So
I think
Really, it's the Menendez brother card.
yeah, very
see how
much.
much it's going for.
Who do you guys think walks away with this one?
Oh, it's Pennywise. I mean,
Pennywise.
Pennywise
Okay,
doesn't
yeah, I
discriminate
feel
who he
it was-
kills. He comes back and he just murders. Whereas,
And he's again, there's
Menendez-
no killing Pennywise. Like
well,
he's gonna come
and
back.
he's not. Yeah, he's not a clown. He is it. There's a reason they call him it.
Yeah.
He takes the form of whatever he wants to take the form of, because he is a formless entity. He just knows there's a lot of people who are kind of have the fear of clowns. Whereas the Menendez brothers only killed their parents because of the abuse and things like that. They didn't.
$50.
Okay.
I mean,
it's still
still.
50. You put that on.
But
that
that's
on-
50
graded.
for.
That's graded.
Well, still, you bought that card.
1990.
You bought that pack of cards for what? $2.99 back then.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, you
So-
go back in time. You get that card back, right? You bring it to 2020. You put that all into GME, right? Flip it at peak GME. Bada bing, bada boom. You're a millionaire right now, man. You're deep
mean-
fucking value. That's what you are. That's a
Actually,
callback. It's a callback.
Tim might have that card now.
Really?
Oh,
I
that's
sold
right. You
my
sold.
entire-
Yeah, that's
I
right.
sold my binder of cards.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah, to the
So
boys.
Tim might have it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that is my game. I don't have a
Shout out,
ending.
Tim.
I don't have an ending slide here, so I'm just gonna kind of like stop sharing this now.
I mean, it's Pennywise. We all agree it's Pennywise,
yeah,
right?
it's Pennywise. So I think that it's a pretty
6-2.
pretty easy to say that the
62.
movie killers walked away with that one pretty handedly. I think next year we'll come back. We'll switch up the game a little bit. Maybe we'll put those same, maybe not the same ones, but put the movie killers against action movie killers.
You know, we got to put Ash Williams in there. He has to be in
He's
there.
the guy from the Ash guy kills the dead, right? Evil Dead.
Evil
Evil
Dead.
Dead.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So
Army of Darkness. Yeah,
I hope everybody had a good time because I did.
that was good, man. I enjoyed
It's
it.
fine.
It worked out better
It's
than I thought
fun.
it would, honestly. So I'm pretty happy about it. And at the end of the day,
Anytime I get to spend with you guys is good time.
man, it's always
No.
man. You stop, man. You made me
Especially
blush over
spooky
here, dude.
season.
Making me blush over here, dude. But we will we'll pick back up next week and we'll do some scary stories or something.
Will we?
I don't know. Maybe we'll have Ian back on and he can read the scary stories for us. Maybe we'll have to do it in like a scary voice or something, you know.
If you want me, I'll be back.
I'm
always a ring away.
I think we'll be done.
We'll be done by then.
No,
We have
There's-
next week's.
there's still one more that would fall before Spooky.
Well, yeah,
Spooky's in
that's
2
right.
weeks.
We would have to release it a day early, breaking the kayfabe real quick behind the scenes. But
I mean, I've released it.
No, Spooky's 2 weeks away.
yes, but the day that we record is the day before Halloween this year. Or is it on Halloween this
Yes,
year?
that's still
No, it's the
2
day
weeks
before.
from now, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So you still
theoretically.
have next week
We've
Yeah,
already
but
got
and then a
next week,
whole
yeah.
other week.
Next week's already taken.
Yeah, it is. We got a
Oh,
special guest coming in
okay.
next week. It's a surprise, everybody. It's a surprise.
It's me. No, it's not.
All I'm gonna say is that he's gonna be like this. Oi, governor. Oi, how are you,
Oh.
governor?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's not who's
not
saying.
you.
No,
Oh.
it's a new
Okay.
guest actually. But shouts out to Jim also.
Oh.
I hope you're doing well. Hope
Jim, I love you, Jim. If you're watching YouTube,
Anytime somebody brings up that like British people like tea, I always tell them they're insulting Jim. So I don't want him to know that. You know, I just want him to know that.
Are we done?
Yeah, happy Halloween, everybody.
no.
Recording stopped.
It's like a 2-hour episode.
Sorry.
That might be the longest episode I've ever been on, and I'm not even mad about it.
I mean.